Hello and welcome to a new episode on Sadhana World Foundation. As you know, we care about crafting young lives. We bring stories and experiences from our day to day lives which are connected with the guidelines and moral principles which are written in our ancient texts. We believe that if these are followed, our life will become better and our people could become stronger and can lead a happier life. Right now in India, most parents have their kids in holidays. Exams are over. What do parents do? They keep pushing their children to do new things, go to various hobby classes, and they keep on pushing their children to do several things. In the spirit of competition, they keep on pushing their children to become better than the others, and so on. Most parents in India and this part of our world, we see them to be tiger parents. They push their children to work hard, not only in studies but also in the hobbies. Imagine the plight of the kids who don't like the area they are being pushed to excel in. What happens to them? I looked at Greek mythology, came across a goddess called Demeter. Demeter was the goddess, one of the poignant goddesses of that time, who was the goddess of harvest. She is the goddess of agriculture, very important for the human civilization. All of us need food to eat and survive, and all of us, particularly in the Greek civilization, used to worship Demeter for her blessings so that we can get good harvest. Demeter had a daughter who was beautiful, whose name was Persephone. Persephone liked a god called Hades. Hades was the god of the underworld. Hades was a nice person, however, not very well understood because he was ruling the underworld. Not only now, all across our mythologies, underworld is a realm which is not understood very well. And many people don't like people who were connected with the underworld, isn't it? So Hades was someone like that. However, Persephone liked Hades and Hades liked Persephone. Hades wanted to marry Persephone, make her his queen. However, Demeter was a tiger mom. Persephone didn't have the courage to discuss this openly with her mother. She was absolutely confident that her mother would reject this idea and probably would push her to marry someone else. So she was confused, and Hades was confused how to make progress on this. So Hades spoke to one of his siblings, Zeus. Zeus was one of the most powerful gods of that time, and they discussed. Zeus also agreed that Demeter is not going to agree with this proposal. So they made a plan that Hades would abduct Persephone one day and take her to the underworld, make her his queen. That's what happened. Persephone was plucking flowers from the field, and Hades came and abducted Persephone, took her to the underworld. Persephone took the pomegranate of the underworld, which makes Persephone connected deeply with the underworld and won't let her leave the underworld. Persephone was happy. Persephone was his queen and she was happy. However, Demeter was mad at this. She could not locate Persephone. She searched for Persephone all over this world and did not find her. So she got distracted, and then she could not pay attention to her duties as the goddess of harvest. So the trees started withering, the plants started drying, the harvest wasn't there. Human civilization went a begging for food. Jews saw this and had to find a resolution. So Jews find a messenger, Hermes, who had to go and speak to Demeter, had to speak to Hades and Persephone to broker a peace talk amongst the three of them. They were mother and daughter who used to have huge amount of love and affection for each other. Persephone used to respect her mother. Mother Demeter used to love Persephone a lot. However, she was a tiger mom and Persephone didn't have the courage. They didn't have the environment to discuss openly. This is what happens in families. However, Persephone understood that Demeter has a wish and that wish needs to be respected. Similarly, Demeter understood that Persephone has become an adult, needs her freedom and independence to lead her own life, and she had to let Persephone lead her life. So, a settlement was reached, a reconciliation was reached between the mother and the daughter, a reconciliation between the world and the underworld, where Persephone would every year come to the world and live with her mother for a few months. At that time, mother would be very happy, and that time the harvest will be plentiful. That would be the season of spring and summer. And when Persephone goes back to the other world, that's the underworld, that time mother is unhappy. Hades comes every time to take Persephone along with him to the underworld. But Demeter would keep on criticizing, will be sarcastic with her comments towards Hades. But that was the reconciliation which was achieved. And when Persephone goes to the underworld, then mother is unhappy. The autumn and the winter season comes into this world. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear children, this is a beautiful story which is there in our mythology, which tells us that we in a family need to live together with happiness, with certain degree of transparency, with a degree of love and respect mutually. That's the lesson that I see in this Greek mythological story. I am sure, like this Greek mythological story, there are many such stories in our ancient texts. And all of those possibly point us in the same direction of living together in a family with reconciliation, with love, with affection, with respect, and with mutual understanding. Possibly that's the same lesson, same teaching for us to live in a community. Thank you very much for thinking about this and spreading these good words around all of us. I look forward to our future conversations. Thank you very much.